Everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about a stock that just broke out and why you should keep it in your watch list. I'm also going to be addressing the market and sharing with y'all some perspective that may make you think deeply about what may happen tomorrow. All right. Now, before we begin, do not forget to annihilate that button on your way in, and also don't forget to click on that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. All right. So let's get right into it right off the bat. All right, so the market did something kind of unexpected. I wasn't expecting this V-shaped recovery intraday. Pre-market, we were here at around 37.90, and then immediately we dropped all the way down, and then near 10 o'clock, we immediately reversed all the way back. Like, this is very hard to predict. I was not anticipating that at all. The structure that I showed y'all with the SPY, for those of y'all who watched this morning's video, it was right here. It was right there. All right. And I was anticipating a breakdown, but instead, it turned out to be a very nasty bear trap from this perspective, from this angle, right? As you can see, we got the bear trap right over here. Very nasty. Very, very, very nasty. All right. But after what happened today, if we just like erase all of it, right? We clean it up and then we zoom out some more. We go on the 2 hour. Let's see. Yeah, we go on the 2 hour and we zoom in right over here. What you can see next is a bullish pennant from right there. And then we got this line of resistance falling down right here. Now, the good news is there is these two different perspectives that we see, right? It's there, it's in the front of us. The bad news is if it gaps up, then the chart would look kind of ugly, and what happens next will be very difficult to trade and to predict, right? So the situation is just very suspect, very very suspect. What's going to happen tomorrow? Um, Earlier today, I was leaning kind of bearish, and then the market just kept going up and up and up. And right now, like we are at a critical level. It's at resistance right here. And I'm still a little bit bearish, but hey, we'll see what happens in the morning, whether we gap up or whether we gap down. Like this point right here is where you either want to be on the sidelines because anything can happen tomorrow. Literally, anything could happen tomorrow morning, all right? You can either be on the sidelines or you can trade the thing that looks the cleanest to the long side, as well as trade something that is clean to the downside or that is at resistance, right? Like one way or another, either sidelines or you trade something that's good for the longs and that's also good, and then something else that's good for sure, right? But that's pretty much the situation with the SPY. I'm going to share with y'all the Nasdaq as well. Let's address the situation with the Nasdaq just to give y'all different perspective to look at this thing. Hopefully, I'm not causing some confusion. Um, we're gonna look at the 4 hour, and the falling wedge is still on the chart. It's right there. I showed y'all this thing last week. It's on here. It's quite clean, even though there is that little imperfection right there, right? That tiny bit of imperfection on the chart, it's there. If it was lower, it would have been perfect, but it's a little bit higher. All right, and right now we're right at that point again, and the question remains the same: do we break out massively out of the fallen wedge, or do we continue cooking in here all the way until like later this week? And if you look at the weekly time frame, on the if you look at the weekly on the ES, right? If you look at the weekly on the ES, we go here, weekly charts. It's super tough to be fully bullish, like ridiculously hard to be be bullish all the way. So be very cautious as you trade. There is a chance that there is a small chance that this week could end up looking like this at some point, either by Thursday or by Friday. It could, right? Or just can continue messing around and chopping sideways and pissing traders off. But that's pretty much the situation with the overall market. Hopefully, that give y'all some perspective, raise some questions about what may happen tomorrow regarding regarding the direction of the market. Now, the stock that broke out, and that looks pretty good, and it may move independently from the market. That stock is OKTA, Octa. All right. And the reason why I want to share Octa with y'all is because of this. If we go onto the 4-hour and we zoom in right here, there is a bullish pennant on there. It's quite clean, and it broke out today. All right. So it broke out on the 4-hour, and it also broke out on the 5-minute right over here. Right there, if y'all can see that right there. All right, so it looks pretty good, and that's a cybersecurity stock. The other cybersecurity stock that's moving in the sector is also CrowdStrike. One of y'all mentioned in the comments that CrowdStrike was doing well for y'all. Congratulations. It's moving quite well. It's chopping upwards, right? It goes up, it makes higher highs and higher lows as it's climbing up. Next step could probably be somewhere around 191, maybe $192 before it starts to slow down. If that happens, Octa could also move. Again, Octa looks really clean. If the market wasn't so suspect, like this thing would be clean for a move all the way up to like 110, maybe 120, right? There may be even like great news being put out by the company that could cause the stock to just jump all the way up to 110 or 115. It could, right? But the structure is there, is clean. Therefore, it is good enough for me to share it in today's video with all of you. Now, let's talk about the stocks that I've mentioned this morning. One did alright. That one is GME. I told y'all to watch GME for a potential drop, right? Below the neckline. It's still chopping at the neckline. It's very slow, unfortunately. It's still chilling there. Again, we'll see what the market does. Like we are at a very critical level, as I explained earlier, and anything could happen. If there is a massive like -2% down like at 7 a.m., then it will be very clear about the direction that we are going. Obviously, the bears will be extremely happy about that. But if it stays flat or it gaps up a little bit, like it gaps up to like let's say the SPY goes up above $385, then the shorts are going to cover ASAP, and there will be a massive squeeze tomorrow. All right, but right now it's just chopping at the neckline. And again, the bias that I had in the morning was for a drop below 110 and below 100. Well, we'll see what happens. This one did pretty much nothing. All right, the other stock was PDD. And PDD, that one, it dropped really quickly out the gates and then recovered immediately. Like if you are a scalper and you're really quick with your entries and your exits, right out the gates, it provided an opportunity from 64 all the way down to 63, but you have to be really fast and collect your money really quick, because that little profit right here, that little delta in profit, got immediately taken away during the next 5 minutes. Right, so the opportunity was there. Not the best situation to trade, but it ended up recovering throughout the entire day from the bullish pennant later on, along with the other Chinese companies, as you can see right over here, right? So as for that one, where is it going to go? We'll see what the market does. We'll see. And also China is another, like, well, I say China, the Chinese sector, Chinese stocks, they kind of have their own catalyst and they can move independently from the overall market. So they could pull a surprise and announce magical unicorn news, and all of the Chinese stocks could gap up even high. Like it could happen. So that's something that to consider. All right, and that's the update for the stock. And then the last one, I think I made it a little bit too complicated in my explanation. If you just look at it without, if I just looked at the stock by itself without considering the SPY and everything else that is going on with the market, it's a pretty simple one. The flag was there, and then like over here at 31 or 32, I told you to watch it for a move up to $40, right? It dragged its feet, it broke out, dragged its feet, bounced off, and ideally, right, if I just ignored all of it, then yeah, the move up to 40 is what it's supposed to do. It did what it's supposed to do to the long side, but I was a little bit skeptical on it because of the market situation. But yeah, how long is it going to stay up here? I can say that the highest I see it going before a pullback is $42. Yeah, that's as high as I see this one going. All right, so that's the update for all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Again, do not forget to annihilate the like button for the YouTube algorithm. As always, helps the channel a lot and allows more people to get this knowledge as well. Also, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, definitely click on subscribe and click on the notification bell along with all notifications, that way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. If you haven't added me on social media yet, you can find me at Paul Nguma and at PATTERNOLOGY LAB on Instagram and on Twitter. And lastly, if all of this is brand new to you, if you're interested in getting started in the stock market, there are some basic step-by-step directions in the description of the video below. Step 1 to step 3. It only takes about 10 to 15 minutes for you to get set up with all the tools you need to start trading immediately. You can also get some free stocks for setting up with Webull using the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Nguma with PATTERNOLOGY LAB, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.